Hello, I'm Macbigicekeys. This video is a time-lapse of a drawing from conception to the finished product, or at least where I stopped working on it. The video is composed of still frames like you're seeing on the screen now that are captured every 5 minutes or every 1 minute depending on what stage of the drawing I was in. And then there is a section later on that is actual live video just sped up by 1,500%. I'm going to talk a little bit here at the beginning just about the process and about the reason I'm posting this video, aside from as just a kind of a vlog from myself and my development as a drawer or artist, if you will. Before I get into that, if you like what you see, please consider sharing it with someone and, I don't know, leave a comment if you like something or if you have a question about something, and maybe subscribe if you like video games and creative stuff, poetry, drawing. I've been doing videos on YouTube for, gosh, it's like 11 years now. And some of my first videos were time-lapse videos when I was into digital painting on my original channel, which was Evesweater, Evesweater. So you can check that out. I think it still exists. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about why I'm making this video, and feel free to just mute me and watch this. There's going to be no music or anything, and I'm not going to talk for the entire 20 minutes of the video, although I might. I have a tendency to be able to talk. That's probably a carryover from my streaming days on Twitch and on YouTube. So I started to teach myself to draw about, it's got to be like 12 or 13, maybe 14 years ago. I kind of drew a little bit when I was younger and I was into it as a kid, but I was kind of into everything. And drawing had taken kind of a backseat for the majority of my life. And I got into Dungeons and Dragons, and part of the rules from the DM was that we could get extra experience if we did a drawing or did a write-up. And I was like, okay, I'll do a drawing. And I decided I really liked it. So I went from stick figures to where I'm at now with both digital painting and then drawing and inking and all these things. There's often long hiatuses between drawings, up to years. So it's not like I do this as a professional or anything like that. This is purely just for hobby. When I started trying to draw and teach myself all the rules and all the things, a few things, I tried to do everything at once. I tried to learn how to draw. I tried to learn inking style, and I had tried to learn digital programs for drawing, and then color and painting as well. And I think that was a big no, and if I could go back in time, I would change that. So I think one thing I wanted to get across with this video is that you should stick to one element of something that you're interested in and try to improve on that aspect. So right now, and I'm doing that this summer, right now I'm trying to improve on just basic drawing and then specifically inking in black and white and not worrying about the color aspects later. So this drawing right here is a D&D scene, but it's really me focusing on cross-hatching and then strokes and getting decent lines. And some of my underdrawing isn't that great, and I could spend hours and hours and hours working on that, but I had a focus. That brings me to my next point, which is there needs to be a certain cutoff in terms of the time that you are devoting to a drawing. I sat there with my drawing notebook for multiple nights. You can see those images at the beginning of the video where I was trying to figure out the composition. How do I want things laid out and how do I want things to look? And they're just really rough ideas, but I spent at least 3 hours doing that. And at some point you need to draw a line in the sand and say, okay, choose this one thing and go with it. Otherwise you'll never finish a piece. And I think it's important to go from a beginning to a finished piece and not just always be sketching. The second thing, or another thing I wanted to talk about was time-lapse videos. And like right now you see on the screen, this is a 1,500% speed of me actually drawing. And right now I'm trying to come up with leg armor and how am I going to make that look? And could I find an easy way to duplicate through Krita by copying images? And it doesn't work out. But when I was actually working, you can see me there in the bottom right hand corner, I wasn't worried about speed. And I think I used to be when I was drawing years ago, like 10 years ago, 9 years ago, I was always worried about like I need to produce something in 6 hours, and the end result was always an underwhelming drawing where I didn't feel satisfied with what I had created. And that really puts a damper on your enthusiasm when you go into a new drawing. We see all these time-lapse videos on social media and YouTube, and it's exciting, it's fun to watch, it's interesting, and we get this false perception that this is the speed by which we should hold ourselves accountable as non-professional artists who are doing this as a hobby, and like all this expectation is loaded down on you, and you need to realize what it is. And so that's one of the reasons I made this video, was just to show that. Time-lapse videos are nice at the same time because you can see the decisions that the artists are making at a sped up pace, and it does save you time. But there's a place for it. You just need to make sure that you're watching it with a good understanding of what you're seeing. I would say other videos where artists are going at real time are just as valuable, and I watch a lot of those myself. The main thing that you should be getting out of a drawing is falling into the flow sort of Zen state of just enjoying it. And right now I'm not working, so I have a ton of extra time, and drawing lets me kind of escape, just like gaming will let you escape, or other creative aspects that you enjoy. You kind of lose track of time and space. When I'm mountain biking, I get the same experience. And so if you're not feeling that, you should stand up and walk away from the drawing pad or walk away from the computer so that you can enjoy the process by disappearing into the process. That's also going to translate into your work being better. Like right now, this armor, these line strokes are way worse than what I would have had I copied and pasted everything. But I'm enjoying this, and I'm getting better practice by doing this. And so by being conscious and aware of those decisions, I can enjoy the process of drawing and not get frustrated and walk away because I'm frustrated. And that kind of brings me to my final point. Is you can see in the upper right hand corner of the video, I broke down the dates and times that I spent drawing. And I noticed like the last few sessions, I think I was getting more invested because I was doing the inking part, which was part of what I was practicing. And I had one session where I worked pretty consistently for about 7 hours. Now these hours are rough. They include breaks, playing with my dog, getting coffee, snacking and whatever. But the realization that even a drawing at this level, and this is not very great, like I see errors with every stroke, right? But this is still 25 hours worth of work. So keeping that in mind when you're looking at a professional artist's work and you've worked for 5 hours on a face and you get disgruntled and disappointed in yourself, take a step back and check yourself. To do a long drawing, you need to have a lot of planning going in, and you need to just have the time to sit in a good mental state and enjoy the process of doing it so that you're learning while you're producing. And then you have something that you can also enjoy sharing with others, which is part of what this video is about. I know a lot of people aren't going to see this video, but I hope if you're hearing this that in some way I helped encourage you to take that creative avenue in a more positive way and explore that aspect in yourself. I will have the finished version of this drawing, the secret room, either on my DeviantArt page if that thing still exists, or I'll tweet it out or something if you're really that invested and interested. Comment if you like if you do. Have a great day. The rest of the video will play without commentary.